So first we need to plug in our MIDI controller, our audio output, and finally the USB power, or you can use a 9-volt battery. To enter the Groovebox mode, you push button number 3 during the main selection. Now that you're in the Groovebox mode, you have 4 separate tracks which you can select with knob number 1, 16 notes each. To start the Groovebox, you push button number 1, and knob number 2 will let you set the tempo. If you want to preview your track without actually getting it recorded, you press button number 3. So I'm going to listen to some waveforms and decide which one I want to use. Here's the drum samples. And noise form. So first I'm going to record a bass track. To hear a metronome click track, push button number 4. So now I'm going to take it off the preview mode. Now if you record something that you're not happy with, you can always clear it with button number 2. I'm going to try again. Now the Synthino XM will quantize your first beginning, the note on, and it will leave the note off as is to give it a more human feel. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. This is the track volume. This knob is track transpose. So you can transpose by the octaves. The transpose knob will transpose all of the notes with the exception of the drum samples. If you want to adjust the decay, you would use this knob. Now the decay is individual to the track. Your attack can also be adjusted. And you can use the filter in real time. Alright, so I'm happy with this bass track. I'm going to go ahead and record something else on track 2. So I would use this first knob to select track 2. And just to make sure, you can always kind of cycle through them. So this is 1. You can see the LED blinking. If you really want to be sure, you can stop the sequence. So I'll go on track 2. I'll turn off the metronome, I don't need it anymore. Okay, I'm going to record some drums at this point. Now that I have some nice claps going on, I'm going to record a bass drum. That'll be on track 2. And I'll preview while I search for the bass drum sound. It's a good one. Now the Synthino XM quantization really helps and makes everything sound very nice. Alright, now on track 4, I'm going to stop the sequence. On track 4, I will I'm going to record something really crazy like this. Synthino XM will also record the current waveform into the sequence, so you can have multiple sounds going on the same track. There you have it. You can transpose. You can filter. You can turn down and mix the DJ tracks with the volume knob. So that crazy track is now turned down. I'll go ahead and turn down the bass track, so I'll need to select track 1 again and use the volume to turn that down. Let's say you want to alter one of your tracks. I can go ahead and alter the hat track that I have. Let's say I want to play something different. We can do a snare fill. And then we'll bring the bass back in. Maybe we'll record some other notes on the bass. To save the patterns, you would hold down button number 4, which if you hold it down will take you into the menus, the main menu select. So hold that down along with button number 1. Okay, now you're in the, as you can see, you can choose which bank to save your patterns in. You have 4 banks. So I'll go ahead and save into bank number 1. When you let go, this lets you choose which bank. So knob number 1. I'm going to save to bank 1, and when I let go, it's going to write all of the parameters into that bank. And it will take you back to the sort of beginning mode. Now if you go back into your sequence, go back into Groovebox mode, your patterns are still there. However, let's say you want to change them completely. So I'm going to quickly change everything up. So I now have this pattern going on. I can also save that pattern, so I'll hold down the reset button and the button number 1. And now, once I'm holding it down, I can also select which bank. So because I have something in bank number 1, I don't want to overwrite it, so I will choose bank 2 and save to that. Done. Okay, so now this is the pattern that I was just playing around with. Let's say you want to get your old pattern back, so you would hold reset button again with button number 2. Okay, now while holding that button, you can choose the bank in which to load the patterns from. So I'm going to load the patterns that are in the bank number 1. Loading is a lot quicker than writing. So I'm going to choose Groovebox again. And this is the first set of patterns that I was working on. So that is how you can use your Synthino XM in sort of a live PA setting. What I also like to do is save the patterns with volume down, so then you can bring them in as you're mixing in with your other tracks. Of course, there's your tempo. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for the Synthino XM Groovebox Mode. All of the functionality can also be accessed through MIDI CC notes. Some of the synthesizer functions are not readily available on the knobs in the Groovebox Mode. However, if you use a MIDI controller, all of these functions can match up to the sliders. The drums will be drums, and also you can match all of the resonance, the LFOs, and the start and stop buttons to your controller if you need more functionality. You can learn more about Synthino by going to synthino.com. Thank you very much for watching.